I say, how you doing today? Y'all already know I am your host, Lacey G. Souldier Turner, and I got a very special guest with me, man. She back again. I done interviewed her before. She dropped a lot of jewels and just knowledge, and we bringing her back today to talk about some things. So, without further ado, I want to welcome to the platform once again the wonderful, amazing, talented. Y'all already know Kathy Conley Jones. How you doing today?
Oh, I am doing just fantastic. And thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You already know now. For those of you don't know, Kathy Conley, she is the past president of the National African American Insurance Association. So, Miss Kathy, what have you been doing since our last interview?
Oh, wow. I had a lot going on. As we all know, there's different pieces, right? One is always on the social space. And on that, what I'm doing is really trying to make sure that more young people understand the values that being in the insurance industry offers because it's not always sales. There's
Mhm.
just a whole plethora of places. And so we had a wonderful event called Still I Rise. That's our NIA, which is the National African American Insurance Association. We had that event as a part of Black History Month on
Mhm.
February the 29th, last day of the year, of the month, rather. And then we were able, this was our second event, and we were so pleased we were able to grant three three scholarships, right? Three scholarships to young people. And we're just very excited about that. And that's part of what we're doing, as well as we have a scholarship fundraiser coming up that's going to be held at Top Golf
Mhm.
in the city. All right. And
Okay.
so that's something as well on August the 29th.
Look, and that's the brand new Top Golf too. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Folks
So
could come on down and um, hobnob with your insurance and investment friends and associates, and you never know, there may be opportunity for an employment.
there you go. So, can you tell the people for the people who don't know? Can you tell the people why NIA was established?
Sure. The National African American Insurance Association, NIA, was established by a gentleman named Gerald Tillman, and it's been 27 years. And he established it because so many African Americans did not have a way to connect with each other in this industry. The industry is a great industry, but what this really did is when you're kind of going through the struggles and everything else that's going on, and you don't know where to turn or who to turn to, we want them to know that there's a friend. You've got a friend, okay? And so when that was established, um, it has grown. It is now national. He started this in Ohio, and it's really about not only educating, empowering, and the association so that we can bring more Black folks, because I know everybody talks about
Yeah.
people of color. I'm still Black, so it's like, okay. But not only that, but also women and people of color into this industry that tends to be so predominantly white, male, and old. Okay. I call it male, pale, and stale. Okay.
So let me ask you this: why do you feel there is a need to empower, embrace financial empowerment and literacy in our community?
Well, I mean, everything that we do, if you get a job, you need to know how to manage your money, but you also need to know how to protect your family and everyone. And most of the time, if you, I would say probably 8 out of 10 people don't understand insurance.
Mhm.
And that's one thing. And according to what our wonderful Maya Angelou said, she said, when you give, get. When you give, no, when you get, give. When you know, or when you learn, teach. Okay. I just messed that up, but that's pretty much, you know what I mean. So basically, it's about making sure that we get the information out and disseminate it. So young people have an opportunity, and middle-aged people have an opportunity to learn more about the financial literacy, because the United States is basically, we're somewhere like number, I'm going to say 29, ninth in the world in those developed countries in financial literacy. Those countries that are like one, two, and three, you have Japan, you have China, you have France. So you have these other individuals that you are, if you think about our Olympics, and we talk about the world, and we are basically competing with the world, we're in the, if you're talking about track and field, you're in the 29th lane. You're in the position, you're so far back, which means you've got to catch up and everybody else is ahead. And specifically in our community, because I focus a lot on women and Black people, we need to know how to use those, um, that information, understand how we can protect ourselves, grow our legacies, um, and develop the skills that we need so people don't take advantage of us.
Okay, look, that and that's real talk.
Exactly, they will.
Yeah, not for real. Especially like you said, especially in our community, just lack of knowledge. I wish I knew a lot of stuff that I didn't know back. I didn't know back then that I know now. I wish I can go back and teach myself about credit and everything. So,
Exactly. And here's something that I've always thought, I'm going to kind of lean into this. When we were, I'm going to call it, when we were Negro slaves, I'm not sure exactly what we were at that point, but during slavery, the most important thing for the white masters was to make sure that their slaves could not read.
hmm
All right. So they passed a law you could not read. But in addition to that, once slavery was over, you had a number of people who could not read, but there were a number who could.
hmm
And one of the areas that happened specifically after slavery, and you had those who had been enslaved, they didn't know where to go. There was a place that they could go, and that was into the Black church. All
hmm
right. And our churches have been a beacon of education and knowledge for so many years, really more centuries.
hmm
And we have depended on that, even here in St. Louis, where you had Reverend Lovejoy, who would take Black kids out on a raft into the Mississippi because it was against the law to educate Black people in Missouri. But if he went out into the waters of the Mississippi, he wasn't on the banks of the Missouri. And that's where he would have classes and teach the children and then bring them back. And so our churches have always been in the forefront of our education, of our spiritual upliftment, but also that social and economic engine that we need.
Mm, that's deep. But so speaking of churches, with with what a great transition. I want to talk about the financial education for your church. The church's initiative. So can you tell the people about your faith-based financial education initiative?
I'd be happy to. First of all, there's so many. We as Black people, we have different denominations that we go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we give, we tithe, we can spout out a lot of different things.
Yep.
But if you look at it, most of the time, our churches are they may be bringing in a lot of money or a significant amount of money, but are they actually teaching their congregants of what they need, just the way that the church did before, that gave us the education, that gave us our social skills, that gave us our political skills, all of that. And so our faith based, I'm going to say, initiative. Actually, I've sort of done this over the years, but nothing specific until recent, where I had a minister to reach out to me and ask if I would bring some estate planning and protection strategies to his members. And I was elated to do so. And I did that this past Saturday. And when we did that, there were about 27 people that showed up. I was absolutely floored because usually, you think of 4 or 5 people will show up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not like an exciting idea. But more than anything, it's not just about insurance, it's about all of those things that help protect us and protect our legacies, protect our families. And we had such a wonderful time. And now I'm starting to get a number of ministers
Mm,
contacting me. And I think that's wonderful because if we can bring this knowledge and information into our churches, that's going to help everyone, right?
mm.
And we all will rise together. And I think that's extremely exciting.
Okay, yeah. So could you I guess lay out one or two of the initiatives that you had spoke on?
Oh, sure. Um, One of the things that we're also doing is it's fine to go in a church and talk about protection, life insurance, investing, your estate planning. Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? People don't think about that until something really terrible happens, right? And
Mm,
usually, insurance is the one thing you can't buy when you need it most.
right.
That's number one, right? But
Yeah.
the other thing is you have to have order. So if you think about a church and the gospel, if you are in a Christian church, one of the things that's always a part of it is that God is not a God of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
He's a God of order. So things have to be orderly. So if you need to talk about in the event you become ill, what orders have you put in place how to make sure your family knows your wishes? I always say, people say, if I die, I said, no, that's going to be a defining moment when you
When
die.
you die.
You need to already have that so people aren't, sitting around talking, oh, Big Mama didn't want to do that. That ain't what, she spoke to me. Oh, come on, cut it out. So if you, and you, especially if you're a person that likes to be in control, the best way you can be in control is have everything written, the orders, let your family know where things are. So, if something happens, here's an envelope, or call my agent, or call my broker, or whomever.
Yeah.
But you place some order inside and remove the chaos. So that's an initiative. And part of that initiative is also something that we have called Invest.
Mm,
Invest is a program that helps to, it's a financial literacy program that can be utilized as a full curriculum. And it helps young people not only learn financial literacy and anything about insurance, investments, bank accounts, things of that nature, but also give them an insight into this wonderful industry because, like I say, they don't know about it. Most people like, what? And they say, oh, what? There goes the insurance lady. And okay,
yeah.
but they don't know all the things that you can do and be inside of that. So the Invest program, along with Naya, we feel that we have a responsibility for to them who much is given, much is required. That's a biblical statement.
Mm,
So we need to make sure that as we climb, that we pull others up with us and not just sort of wave at them going by. So that Invest program and Naya, that's about the scholarship. It's about the future. Just like this political environment we're in right now,
yes.
it's not about those of us who have already got ours.
Mm-hmm.
It's what our people always did, which they were always blazing a trail for
Right.
the future. So
Yeah.
those are some of the things I've been up to.
Okay. 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 So are you I guess right now, so you're meeting with churches, and are you going to be having meetings with them going into the churches?
Well, I hope if anybody reaches out to me, like I'm not standing at the front door when they passing out
Yeah.
the bulletins and saying, "Hey, do you want us to talk?" I think the most important thing is for those churches and those leaders who recognize. I call them, those are the visionaries. And they say, because without a vision, the people will perish. Another biblical statement. We can go through this all day long. But the thing is, a minister or that preacher, whatever you call your faith leader, if he or she has not thought about their congregation, and taking care of them, protecting them, but also talking about the future.
Mhm.
When you're no longer here, how will the church go?
Mhm.
But also making sure that we start to bring young people in. And that's an initiative I'm hoping I can help to sort of really spark. So the churches, it's not a lot of young people go to church anymore, right? They don't feel like it's anything there.
Yeah, facts.
But if you introduce something to them that gets their attention. And here's a quick example. You know who Magic Johnson is, right?
Yeah,
Everybody knows
of
Magic
course.
Johnson. Of course, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But did you know that Magic Johnson owns an insurance company?
Nope.
Uh huh. And did you know that I'm going to take it a step further? He bought beneficial ownership in a company that's over 100 years old, that was started by an ex-slave,
Mm,
and it's called Atlanta Life.
mm,
Atlanta Life was the black insurance company, because at that time white people didn't want to sell us anything, or when they did, they charged us 4 times as much for the same things. So recently, within the past 2 years, one of the things that Magic Johnson did is he became an owner, a beneficial owner in that, with his other companies,
mm,
and it's over, I want to say, $21 billion with a B.
like,
And he's has it's still headquartered in Atlanta. But one of the things, I just was blessed to be able to talk to some of the representatives there just last week. They want to bring it. They're licensed in Missouri, so
mm,
they are talking about bringing that and establishing an office here.
that's
Well,
great.
what does that do? It allows some of the younger people an opportunity. They train you.
Yeah,
You get paid, and you train from integrity, knowledge, and strength, and not, you're really helping your community to grow.
mhm.
So that's one of those things a lot of people don't know. And
That's
I always think about Magic. The one thing that I always thought of him, when he was playing basketball, he always made everybody around him better.
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
de-
always better.
yes, definitely. All right, Miss Kathy, look, you're doing a lot of great things. So once again, you spoke on this a little bit. Let the people know what you got coming up.
Okay, so one, we have the Naya. That's my heart. Naya has the August 29th event for the scholarship, and then for any of your listeners and viewers out there, if you're thinking, maybe my church needs to hold a seminar where we can come in, reach out to me at 314-249-3608. You can text me, you can call me, and let's see what we can do for your faith community, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, but it's the evidence of things yet unseen.
See that she dropped them jewels. Y'all see that? All right. Thank you, Miss Kathy Conley Jones. I ain't gonna keep you no longer. I
All
appreciate
righty.
you, and I will
Thank you
definitely
so
let you know.
much.
I'll let
I
you know when we
always
go.
enjoy talking with you.
Me too. All right.
All
You have
right.
a good
Oh,
night.
can I say one last
Okay,
thing?
go ahead.
Project 2025, everybody, if you don't know about it, start learning about it. We have a new nominee, Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris. You need to know what the Republicans have in store. And
Mm,
there used to be an old saying that if you want to hide something from Black people,
keep it in us.
put it in the book. Okay. So get the book. Don't let them hide it. Thanks so much.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
No problem. You have a good night.
All righty. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.